Hello all, myself Vedangi and I am a legal internet excellent company. So guys, my today's topic for the discussion is the collective bargaining in labor laws. So let's begin, and first of all let's discuss about the concept of collective bargaining. So collective bargaining is basically where the objective of it is to harmonize the labor relations to promote the industrial peace by creating equality of bargaining power between the labor and the capital, and an individual in this particular scenario is free to bargain for himself and to safeguard his own interest. Also, collective bargaining can exist only in an atmosphere of political freedom, and any conditions of service like wages, hours of work, leave, gratuity, bonus, allowances, and other like privileges can all be settled by negotiation between the body of the workman and the employer. Also, collective bargaining is regarded as a process whereby the organized labor and the management negotiate the terms and the conditions of their employment which are incorporated in an agreement called as collective bargaining agreement. And therefore the term collective bargaining has been first of all introduced and discussed by Loeb about hundreds of years ago in the beginning of the 20th century. According to the International Labour Organization, the negotiations about working conditions and the terms of employment between an employer, a group of employers, or one or more the organization or employers on one hand, and one or more representative organizations of workers on the other hand, with a view to conclude an agreement, is known as collective bargaining. Therefore, collective bargaining is that arrangement whereby the wages and the conditions of employment of workmen are settled through a bargain between the employer and the workmen collectively, whether represented through their union or someone on the behalf of all of them. And there are basically four ways in which the terms and conditions of the employment can be determined. So the first one is that they can be unilaterally dictated by an employer, they may be imposed by the union, they may be regulated by the government, or they may be determined by joint negotiation between the employer and workers or their union. Also, we will discuss regarding the forms of the collective bargaining. So the process of collective bargaining normally takes one or more forms like the negotiation, mediation, and arbitration that can be either voluntary or compulsory. Negotiation is the process of settling the differences by face-to-face round-table talks between the representatives of the employer and the employees, and in case of failure of the negotiating machinery to resolve the differences by mutual discussion and understanding, a third-party intervention to secure the settlement of labor disputes by way of mediation is often resorted to. Also, the mediator functions not as a judge, but he assists the parties in disputes to reach an agreement by persuading them to resume or continue their bargaining efforts. Arbitration is an act of settling labor disputes through the medium of a neutral third party. Now let's discuss about the essential conditions of a successful collective bargaining. So first one is right to organize. That the success of the collective bargaining in any country depends upon the right of the workers to organize themselves and bargain. And this means that the workers must have the right to freedom of association and protection of right to organize conventions 1948, and right to organize and collective bargaining 1949 was also a condition sine qua non for collective bargaining. Next essential condition is the stable and strong trade union. So the more the organizations or unions of workers are strong, the more effective role they will be able to play at the bargaining table. And the another essential condition is the recognition of the trade unions. So for successful collective bargaining, recognition of trade unions is very essential, and unless the trade union is recognized by the employers, the union will face a lot of problems before going to the negotiating table with the employer. And if the employer he refuses to recognize the trade union of workers, the collective bargaining will almost be impossible. Now there are certain purposes of collective bargaining. So collective bargaining serves two purposes. First one is it acts as a means of regulating the wages and conditions of employment. So talking about that, so in the beginning of collective bargaining, that was basically used as a method of regulating the wages and conditions of the employment. But with the development of the trade unions gradually, and it covered matters relating to the hours of work, bonus, cost of living, allowances, annual leave, better working conditions, etc. And the another purpose of collective bargaining is as a means of regulating labor management relations. So the second object of collective bargaining is regulation of labor management relations. Although initially it was not the objective of the collective bargaining, but gradually with the change in the outlook, collective bargaining is now used as an important method for regulating the labor management relations. So what we can conclude from this entire discussion is that collective bargaining is basically an arrangement so as to improve the relations of the workman and the employer by taking the recourse of several forms that we have discussed in our discussion. So guys, that's all about my discussion on this particular topic. I hope you all liked my video. If you guys have any doubt with regard to this video, then you can comment in the comment section. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel Lexit. We will meet in the next video. Till then, bye.